For most people, progress stops at the 30 rep mark. After that, hitting 100 reps feels less like a goal and more like a mathematical impossibility. The standard routine of 3 sets of 10 is effectively dead air. It builds a baseline level of fitness, but it provides nowhere near the stimulus required for elite endurance. Training for daily volume is a different discipline than training for failure. To reach triple digits, you have to prioritize how the muscle fatigues over how many times you move the weight. Breaking this plateau requires a total shift in focus. Leave the rep counting behind and prioritize the point of complete physical exhaustion. This strategy is built on a specific mechanism called the push-up progressive failure ladder. The logic follows a downward path. You begin at the top of the ladder with the most difficult variation. At your limit, immediately move to an easier variation without resting. Failure is involuntary stoppage. The nervous system fires, but muscle fibers cannot respond. By cycling through 4 descending levels of mechanical difficulty in a single burst, you force the body to adapt to volume it normally couldn't handle. We start at the highest intensity with the decline push-up. This variation places the most significant load on the upper chest and shoulders. Place your feet on a bench or a stable chair. Keep your hands on the floor and maintain a rigid line from your heels to your neck. Drive through as many reps as you can maintain with perfect control. Continue until your form physically begins to crumble. End this phase the moment you can no longer touch your chin to the floor. When that range of motion disappears, the first stage is over. Starting with this maximum resistance pre-exhausts your primary muscle fibers, ensuring that the easier variations later in the set are actually more challenging. Transition immediately. Shatter any impulse to take a break and drop your feet from the bench to the floor for standard push-ups. Even a 10-second pause allows the muscles to clear enough metabolic waste to reset. To make this work, you must stay under tension. Focusing. Grind through full range reps. Your arms will feel heavy and slow, which is exactly the stimulus we are looking for. By removing the rest period, you force the chest to recruit deep, secondary muscle fibers that usually stay dormant during a standard set. When you can no longer push off the floor, move to step 3, incline relief. Stand up and place your hands on an elevated surface, like a counter or the back of a sofa. This diagram shows the shift in physics. By increasing the angle of your body, a portion of your weight shifts toward your legs, giving your exhausted chest the mechanical advantage it needs to keep moving. Squeeze out every possible rep. Fight for every inch of movement until the body simply refuses to complete the upward arc. This step forces the nervous system to continue the workload long after the point where you would have normally quit. Finally, drop to your knees on the floor for the easiest variation in the sequence. This is a purely metabolic finish. We are draining the final reserves of energy from the triceps and the pectoral muscles. There is no rep count here. You push until the muscles give way and you collapse flat against the mat. That moment of total physical failure is the biological signal that triggers the manufacture of elite-level strength. The total burnout you feel after that final rep is the indicator of a successful session. You have successfully bypassed your body's natural safety limiters. Because each ladder is brief but highly intense, you can perform this circuit 2 or 3 times throughout the day. These repeated spikes in recruitment maximize your hormonal response while keeping your total training time low enough to avoid overtraining. Consistency is the final variable. Commit to this routine 3 to 4 days a week to allow full systemic recovery between heavy sessions. Most people train like amateurs, stopping when it gets uncomfortable. To hit triple digits, you have to attack your training with a beast-like intensity. If this strategy helps you break your plateau, like the video and subscribe to the channel for more elite training breakdowns. Reaching 100 consecutive push-ups is a byproduct of engineering total systematic failure.